Hey guys, welcome to part 2 the weekly food forest tours. Be interesting to see how these grafted mulberries do. Some of them look like they're budding out a little bit, and some look like they're not making it or just stuck. So, be interesting. Grafted cherries right there. Looking okay so far. Hope they make it. The willows and grapes are looking really good. Willows have all got a few inches of growth on them mostly. Some of the grapes are starting to get an inch or so. I see some of the grapes, it's like that one may have about 2 or 3 inches of growth on there for the most ones. A few grape leaves right there. Looking good. The fig trees are coming back up from the roots. There's some fig leaves right down there where that one's growing back. There's some right in there too where that one's starting to grow back. Some pomegranates growing back and getting bigger. Right there and right there. Those ones are really starting to put on some leaves over on that end. So that's looking really good. Apple rootstock, I got something around it to protect them. That's them coming up, kind of those green things growing all in here. Light coming up in that section right there. Some of them are red leaves, interesting. Some of them are green. Really cool. Peach seedlings are doing really good. Some of them are about maybe 9 inches maybe already. Looking really good. That one that's split into two, it's got the 2 shoots coming up. That one that I thought had stopped, but it's got about 3 or 4 inches of growth on those 2 shoots already. So looking really good and healthy. Hope they be interesting to see how they do and turn out. I'm excited to see how the peaches taste. Pomegranates. Let's see. This one's coming back from. Got the branches are alive. It's got the leaves coming out of there. Looking really good. Nothing on that first one we just skipped over. Let's see, let's get into this end. There's one in there coming out. It's hiding in there. See it right kind of back in there. But it's coming back from the bottom. And this one is right there. Let's see if I can see any on this one. Don't see anything yet on that one or that one beside it. Let's check this one on the end out. This is the one that I made the mound around this one first, so don't see anything in there. May have to clear some of that out and let some sunlight in. That may help get some good light to it. Go over to the peaches. Alright, here's the first bigger peach tree. So recently I planted the seedling Muscadine from the previous videos. It's looking really healthy, got some new growth, just moving it over. And just kind of stuck it at the front of this peach tree. It's an empty space kind of right here in between these bottom branches and the upper canopy of the tree. So I thought this would be a great spot to let this muscadine just grow really thick and help fill in and connect this whole area. So it's protected by just these twiggy sticks stuck in the ground, like I talked about in the previous videos about the blueberry over there, and that's been working really good. So got this, and it's been about a week and no damage so far, so that's really encouraging. Hopefully maybe even have some grapes by next year if this continues to go really well. It stretches all out all the way up into here, and got some good looking peaches so far. There's one hiding right in there. This is on the rootstock, I think, actually. It could be the same variety as the type. I haven't compared the two, but they do kind of look similar growth structure, so it could be. Let's see, a peach up in there, one right there. They look really good up till about this stage, and then the pests attack. So I've got some lavender, catnip, and mint, along with some cool weather veggies. You can see some of those. I think I got some lettuce coming up actually down in here. And hopefully some of those other plants that'll hopefully repel some of these pests and attract some beneficial insects. Trying to get it growing really thick up in here. Part of the strategy with the grapevine is just to kind of fill in this canopy, make it hard, you know, just visually too, for the pest insects to see where to fly to, you know, or to get to. Make it a little more challenging than just, you know, looking right up and seeing a fresh peach and going right up to it and chowing down. So we'll see how that does. These peach trees this is the one we trimmed the rootstock back on. It's looking really good. Got some good growth on there. A few peaches up on this one. Some smaller ones up here. I thought there would have been more peaches, but there's some way up there. Guess we had some, I guess the cold weather damage did more than I thought it did. Oh well, we'll hopefully put in a lot of growth this year, so that'll be okay. Maybe we'll have lots of tasty peaches next year. This is the seedling peach tree. It's really doing great. Got lots of good growth down there, and it's starting to fill in up top here. About 4 or 5 inches of growth already. In some spots, just the tips area is just about 1 inch or 2. Growing more down here. That one's about 8 inches probably right there on that shoot already. Some of these are pretty long too. I'll probably take this cage off once it gets just a little bit bigger, because I think it can hopefully just repel the deer almost better than if it's just got little pieces sticking out. It'll almost encourage the deer to just kind of walk up and munch them. But if it's just sticking out, and I can get some good stuff growing down here, which has been planted, and so hopefully that'll help keep the deer away. Look at the blooms on this cherry. I wasn't expecting that. That's looking really, really good. There's probably about 20 to 30 blooms on the tree. There's one right there. It looks like it's about to come out. Some in a cluster right there. Some more. So it's had a pretty wide blooming time. There's some up there. There's some over there. So that's really encouraging. I didn't think it was going to be that many, but it's just kept blooming. Looking really good. Go over here to this other cherry. Lots of flowers on this cherry too. It's probably about the same amount, maybe 20 or so on this tree. Maybe not quite as many actually as the other tree. Some spots are still just blooming out yet, so there's actually some that have already finished blooming right up there. So also with this one, they cover a nice diverse bloom period. They don't all bloom at one time, which is really nice, just for some cross pollination. So that's really cool. Hopefully get a handful of cherries this year. Pawpaw's looking good. Not too much changes from last week. Take a look at one of these flowers on the inside. Kind of interesting looking. think that's one that didn't get pollinated right there. Or maybe it did. Can't tell. This one looks like it actually may be, this one actually might be pollinated. You can see the green tip right there. The flower's falling off, and I'm pretty sure that that looks like it may be pollinated with that green part right there. So maybe these other ones are too, actually. So if so, that would mean that this is either self-pollinating or that there's a pawpaw in the woods somewhere here. I would lean towards the self-pollination just because I've walked back in the woods back here and haven't seen anything. There's a possibility that it could be, but chances of that would just be kind of slim to me. But be interesting if it was. Up hear the neighbor's chickens talking. They're happy it's sunny and 70 degrees. Little pawpaw doing good. Head over to the next row.